Here we go. Yo, I'm always judged on my background. Bitches heard I don't stick around. It's me, baby, it's Tree, baby, it's the one you came to see. That maybe when your man's
Let me tell you something, brother.
that's all it takes. I'll scoop you up, I'll take you out, I'll do all them things that'll make you what your
I don't
man's
take
about,
no shit
what your
from
man
anyone.
been doing.
I smoke my stogie anywhere I want.
I'm slick with it, I'm quick with it. If you give me one chance, girl, I'm gonna hit it. Sorry, baby, that's just how it goes. I'm a loner, baby, I'm a stoner, baby, and my heart has gotten cold.
I'm false. I don't take no shit from anyone. I smoke my stogie anywhere I want.
I'm really not conceited, I just thought that you should know. I'm a heartbreaker.
Do not come.
It's not easy being honest and hard to break a promise, and I think I'm making
I'm gonna go.
It makes me nauseous, maybe if you can say shit like this. I love you, babe, I hit you big, same night, same out. Ain't right, I ain't sure if it's me or if it's him, if I can trust a picture.
Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Being mad about it, keep on being proud about it, keep on being sad about it, keep on bringing everyone around and hoping they don't ask about it. You relax about it, damn, I understand. I got a plan, both for them. I'm just trying to be the man, I'm just trying the best I can. Yo, you guys, yeah, I've been down for too long. It's time that I fall back. Sorry, baby, this is how it goes. I'm a loner, baby, I'm a stoner, baby, and my heart has gotten cold. I love you for the night, I fuck it how you know.
Well, let me tell you something, brother.
I'm sorry, I mean it. I'm really not conceited, I just thought that you should know. I'm a heartbreaker, cliche, I love no doubt it's true. My biggest mistake was giving a fuck about you.
Dominic, yo, stop breaking your law. Just a little beyond the breaking point.
Motherfucking chronic, I'm on one like the rap game was your mom, son. I ain't gonna stop until I make your mom come.
Yo, what up?
Head first, last day I was on, yo, that's what I said.
Well, let me tell you something, brother.
I love it.
Bitch.
Too far. I said, look at my cook. You're gonna be a star. She was laughing. You know what I'm saying? It can happen. She must have felt the same. Cause we getting it up. So we went back home and grabbed my bat and bag. I'm sorry, baby. That's just how it goes. And I got it wrong. I'm sorry. I mean it. I'm really not gonna say
I'm gonna go.
That you
What up? Look at that. Wasn't quite flawless, but pretty close to it. What up? How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the TreesOnYa Pod. It is early for once, only 10 a.m. Look at that. Look at that. I'm going to just start making this a morning show because I can't seem to do anything before 2 a.m. It doesn't matter if I have work, don't have work, if I'm staying at a hotel or anywhere in between. By the time I get showbiz ready, camera ready, you know, it takes me a while. I need an upper, a downer, another upper, something to level me out, maybe a shot of something just to give me a little courage, and then smoke something just to get a little mellow. And then, you know, maybe a few other things in between, an energy drink, a coffee, enema. That's right. Maybe a little PNC visit, you know, the post-nut clarity. I apologize for anybody that didn't understand that. And then I'm about ready to go. After all those things, that's a long process, putting all that together. I mean, it is. It's a long process. So, but I'm here. I'm queer. Get used to it. Actually, I'm not queer. It was just something I like to say. Anyway, how's it going? Look at this. We have a couple of chats already. Drew 2. Welcome. Honestly, too. Welcome my co-host, Drew 2. Drew 2, where are you at? Look at this. Look at this amount of production quality I've got going on right here. Drew 2, how's it going, buddy?
It's going great. How's it going with you, TreesOnYa? Everything good?
Yeah, Drew 2, I'm good. I'm good. Did I say that? People that say that they're good 50 times in a row when you ask them how they're doing, they're not good. That's just a little heads up, little pro tip for you. Anybody that professes how good they're doing, you might want to check on them. Give them a phone call. Say, hello, how are you? And if they say they're good, say, nah, I know better than that. Come on. Anyway, welcome to the show. This is the TreesOnYa Pod. Obviously just going live for technical purposes. I like going live on Twitch just to get everything out there. But I will start uploading things to the YouTube channel. Look at that. I got so much going on here. I can put up this on the screen. TreesOnYa Pod, YouTube. You want the link? Here you go. I'm fucking Zelda. I got so much link. And hold on. Look at this. Look at this. I can show this even on stream. Check this out. Look at that. I can throw the chats up on the screen. It's unreal. I mean, to do this type of, I've got guests, I've got characters. That's unfortunately why I was so late to things today. I wanted to actually go live 40 minutes ago at 2:00, but you know what they say?
You play to win the
You
game.
play to win the game, and I'm not playing to lose. I'm playing to win. And actually, I was creating another character. Last recording, now that I have the technical side pretty much ironed out, I think my computer just wasn't good enough to do things. Drew 2 is actually coming to us from that same laptop, so Drew 2's connection might be a little funky, a little laggy, Snoop laggy lag, if you will. That's why most of the time I'm just going to hide Drew 2. That he's only there to answer a couple questions, maybe pull an AI up if we need to, but also pull up some relevant information, whether it's a clip or a web page or whatever. So hopefully we won't have to use Drew 2 all that much, and I will have to buy another computer, add it into the integration. If you saw how many wires I'm running, I've got 2 monitors, my tablet right in front of me, a laptop in front of the one monitor. I've got 3 keyboards, my laptop keyboard, 2 Bluetooth keyboards. I got a capture card that I can switch. Drew 2 is not on screen now, but I can switch Drew 2 from my phone to the laptop, like switch the screens around. And then I've also got my audio mixer. I've got 3 mice. I don't know if they're called mice or mouses when you're talking computer terms, if they're called I got 3 that I'm using. So it's a lot to keep straight, but I think we're finally there. We're finally there. And last night we brought you Jeffrey the Rapey Ghost. Tonight we have another guest that's going to join us. Maybe Jeffrey the Rapey Ghost will join us again. I'll just pull him up on screen real quick. There he is. There's Jeffrey the Rapey Ghost. We're not going to talk to him right now because it's a little early. Get off my screen, Jeffrey. So last night we had Jeffrey the Rapey Ghost. Tonight we've got Jenny Bonson.
Hello, Trees.
Right there. Jenny Bonson.
Hello, TreesOnYa.
He talks. They talk. I've got an interview with Jenny Bonson coming from the Jenny Show a little later on today. So looking forward to that. But the first part of the show I would like to speak on is just how it is going, really. I've thought a lot of different ways about how I'd like the show to go, but one of them is I'd like to involve my personal life to a certain respect. But I'm kind of a solitary person, so I don't often get the opportunity to just lay it out all on the line, like how you're feeling, what you're going through. And unfortunately, my life is crazy. It always is since the day I was born. Supposedly, my aunt, who was like my mom, because I haven't seen my mom in a long time. Rest in peace, Ma, if you're still alive or not, whatever. She legitimately told me, my aunt told me that they didn't even know that my mom was pregnant. She got a call and it just said like, hey, your sister is going into labor, so you better get over to the hospital. Like no one in the family even knew my mom was pregnant. Now, my aunt says that my mom didn't know she was pregnant, but I don't know how you could be pregnant and not know it. I guess there's a situation where when you're pregnant, the kid can sit up in the stomach so you don't show all that much. And my mom, at least the time that I knew her, was a pretty good drug addict. So it is entirely possible that she didn't know she was pregnant. And then I just came one day, I was just like, here I am, what's up? And ever since then, that's kind of what's ironic about my life. I've been late ever since then for everything. I came early. No one knew I was coming. I just showed up. And now I can't show up on time for a goddamn thing. But I'm working on it. Just like every day. Every day is a work in progress, And until then, Here's what I'm going to do.
I'm gonna get off by cranking your knob just a little beyond the breaking point.
Remember that. Remember that, please. But given the fact that I have gone through so much, I feel like I'm I don't want to say well-traveled because I really haven't traveled all that much, but I'm travel worn, weather worn. I don't know. Like I'm worn the fuck out. I'm like a beat up, never mind. A beat up pickup truck. You know, I've been through a lot. I've seen a lot of miles, but I'm still going. I mean, you wouldn't tell from this face, you know, I'm the best goddamn looking person this side of the east of the Mississippi, at least last time I checked. So, you know, but in that short time, in my 19 years, all right, that might be going a little overboard. In my time, I've seen a lot, been through a lot. I've lived ups and downs, did what Drake did, went from the bottom to the top, 0 to 100 real quick. But then I went back down to 0 and then to 45 and then to 39, then dipped all the way to 28% when I was going through some things. But now I feel like I'm at least up to 52%. So we're 0 to 52 real quick, but it took a minute. So I want to share that. I want to share my experiences with people. Maybe I can help people out. Maybe I can help myself out and fucking clear your goddamn throat, dude. What do you got a fucking load in your throat? What are you doing, bro? Okay. That brings me to that next point. You got to floss. No, I'm just kidding. It's nothing other than, it's not a load in my throat. I promise you. Unless it's my own, which would be just, but that would be disturbing. It would be even more disturbing have it be somebody else's. Anyway, it's not that. So let's forget about it for a minute. It's just when I go live, I could be feeling good, feeling young, strong, good to go. And then if I hit the record button, go live, my voice goes to shit. My nose starts being stuffed up. My brain goes to mush. Sometimes you want your brain to go to mush, but not exactly when you're trying to talk. But of course, I'm always extremely nervous as well. But I feel good about it today, especially streaming, what was it, 2 days ago in the morning, Saturday morning, and it going fairly well. All I care about is the technical side. Once I can forget about that, then I can actually just hop on and be creative and talk about some things that I'd like to talk about. There is some stuff in the news right now. I don't know if you've heard about this 3i Atlas, the meteor comet that is coming towards Earth, barreling towards Earth at, I think it's like 58 kilometers a second. So every second, the guy's just like, boom, 58 kilometers. I can't do the math on that one, but like how many miles? I think it's like 14 or 16 miles a second. That might be a little better for us that use the freedom units. US of A, baby. Although the US of A is not doing very good right at the moment, in my humble opinion. But we will get into that later. I did touch on how the election was stolen in the first episode. So the first episode had Jeffrey the rapey ghost. I talked about how the election was stolen and probably about 4 other fucked up things. So that's great. You know, this thing is sure to do great in the algorithm, which brings me to another point. I have another character coming, Mr. Go Rhythm, Al Go Rhythm, who is going to join us and step in when I get a little too far afield and start going a little too into the weeds. Look at that. 2 nature references at the same time. And I think, or back to back, I think they both worked. I would have thought. Anyway, when I start going a little off track, Al Go Rhythm, Mr. Go Rhythm will pop in and just give me a little bit of tough love and a reminder that I need to get back to it and do things that are friendly to the algorithm and not things that will get me buried or on a FBI watch list. So look forward to that. And I do want to talk about this comment later because, listen, there's been a lot of rumors about maybe the government is going to try to tell the public. Now, Jeremy Corbell said this. He's if you would ask him, a filmmaker and journalist. He reports on a lot of things, UFO, UAP related. He's done a lot of good work, you know, bringing videos to the forefront and evidence and what they call disclosure, trying to get disclosure, the government to admit that aliens are real. They're here. They've always been here and they're interacting with humans. I said it that way because there's a quote. I should play the clip sometime. A guy named Carl Nell, who was like, I don't remember if he was a general. Maybe he wasn't a general, but maybe he was a general. He's like high up in the military, and he says that basically like straight out, blunt, just aliens are real. Or I think he says non-human intelligence is real. It's been here. It's been interacting with humans for a long time, and the government knows about it.
Here's the million-dollar question. Do you believe that a higher form of non-human intelligence has visited this planet?
Right. So non-human intelligence exists. Non-human intelligence has been interacting with humanity. This interaction is not new, and it's been ongoing. And there are unelected people in the government that are aware of that.
And so, Carl, that is quite a bold statement. I'm wondering, and I'm curious, how confident are you that that is true?
There's zero doubt.
And Carl, what evidence have you seen? What was the moment where you developed this level of conviction? Because what you're saying is extremely consequential and very important. And I know that a lot of people here, even perhaps, may not believe that statement.
Right. Well, probably a better way to ask that is, how can the folks in the audience come to the, a common understanding of what this phenomenon is? And so there's sort of two tracks here. One is from first principles, and another is actually from the data. So let's take a look at the data. So we can look at some folks that have very high level access to information, like Paul Hellyer, who is the defense chief for Canada, has come out and said the same thing. We can look at Ham Eshed, the head of Israel's, or former head of Israel's Space Force, has said the same thing. Chris Mellon, Deputy Assistant Secretary for Intel, SAPCO, has essentially said the same thing. Lou Elizondo has said the same thing. David Grush has said the same thing. David Grush cleared for presidentially level material. So you're looking at people that are in a position to know this, and they're telling you the same thing. You could take a look at the Gang of Eight in the Senate and in Congress. So there's two members of the Gang of Eight, Marco Rubio and Senator Chuck Schumer, that signed up to the UAP disclosure amendment last year that basically said they're not being told the truth and we need to push forward on that. So that's sort of an overview of some of the data. From a first principles standpoint, what's so unusual about this realization? There's billions of stars in the galaxy. Life here evolved in 500 million years, which is basically a blink of an eye. We've found planets around every star that we've looked at.
And I do believe that to be the case, honestly. I do. I think reality is a lot of different things. I don't think it's just as plain as we showed up here, whether it be through evolution, whatever. I believe in evolution, but I don't think it's a random chance that we're just here and we're alive during this time. At any time in the span of human history that you could be alive in, you'd have to think that right now, this time in history that we're alive, that we're here for, witnessing it, is the most interesting, the most pivotal maybe in all of human history. And maybe every generation, like every year that goes by, that you could say that. So it's only it's only caused because of time and, being in the present. But I think there's more to it than that. I don't think it's just that. I think that there's a reason we're all here and at this time and to witness what we are witnessing. I think consciousness has a lot to do with our reality and our lives. Think about this for a second. And this is probably a obvious thing to most people. But like I told the story on Saturday about, I didn't really know what sunglasses were until I was in my 20s. Legitimately. I would drive to work every day. I'll make the story quick, but I'd drive to work every day into the sun, drive home from work with my eyes in the sun. I guess I was going east to work and west home every day with the sun in my eyes. Sometimes, depending on time of day, my visor for the, in the car wouldn't block all the sun. So I'm sitting there cursing life every day. And I'm thinking, there's got to be a solution for this. There's no way people just drive to work with the sun in their eyes all the time. And then it hit me. Sunglasses. Duh. That's what the fuck sunglasses are for. And I swear to God, that's a true story. And I was in my 20s when that happened. And so I'm not proud of it. I'm just mentioning it so that you know, sometimes the most obvious things are not obvious to me, which I think is a good thing about doing this podcast too, because it'll broaden my, horizons a little bit, perspective, open my eyes to some things. And I'm open to that. I think too many people aren't. Think about this let me bring it back to how reality is. You could have the worst thing ever happen to you. I don't want to wish this on anybody, but let's say one of your loved ones passed away, died. That's something, even a pet. When I lost my freaking pets, I was heartbroken. Still am. It's hard to even look at pictures of them. My freaking cats. Love them fucking cats. You could have the worst thing ever happen to you. But if you choose not to be upset about it, it doesn't matter. Meaning you create your own reality in that respect. Now, I know there's some things people suffer from, depression and all sorts of things. So I'm not going to go too specific into it, because then you're just going to get lost in it. But however you choose to feel is how your reality is. If you don't have a pot to piss in, but you're happy and you're just loving life, then you're loving life. And it's crazy to me that I know a lot of those things you don't really have control over necessarily, but you really do. There are definitely times where I've said to myself, I'm just not going to be upset about this. It doesn't matter to me. But if that same thing would have happened to me maybe a month before that, and it got me all upset and depressed, and then that ruins your whole weekend, it affects how you interact with people, just what you do, whether you get out of bed or whatever. It's just crazy that beyond being able to just create your own reality, like it's the Matrix and you can just program something up or do something crazy, we can't all be Superman and start flying. So there's definitely limits to what I'm saying. But the fact that you can just choose how you're going to that just blows my mind. I know I'm not explaining it very well, and I wish I was. Sometimes when I have these thoughts, they go through my head much better than they come out. I guess everything's better going in than going out. Certainly Taco Bell. I'm here. I'm glad to be here. I think things are going well as far as the technical side goes, and that's what matters. But I want to discuss my reality for a minute, if I could. My ex-girlfriend, on my Twitch, we would affectionately refer to her as the SK, the stream killer, the dream killer, the soul crusher, the goal snuffer. That was my ex-girlfriend, the stream killer, the SK. So if anybody hears me reference the SK, that's who I'm talking about. Because when I was streaming and playing Madden, I was happy. I was working 6 days a week installing granite, which is not an easy job, but I became very, very good at it. I was I worked for a small company, but I was respected at this company. I was their best installer and blah, blah, blah. So I worked my dick in the dirt, my dick off. Put it this way. I worked my dick and balls off, so much so that I went to try and play basketball, intramural basketball, like an open gym. And they said I couldn't play. I was like, why? They're like, you're obviously trans. You have no more dick and balls. So here in these parts, honey, we don't let trans play basketball. So I was like, all right. It hurt me. It hurt me. Stopped working so much after that. Regained my dick, but not my balls. That's all right. You live and you learn. Anyway, I was happy. It didn't matter that all I did, I wasn't dating anybody really. I was just playing Madden, working 6 days a week, 60 hours a week. I would get off work, play Madden. I was very good at Madden. I would stream and had a pretty good, loyal following, people that would tune in every week in the chat, whatever, this and that. And then as soon as I got with my ex, who actually we were together years ago before that too, so we had history, all of that shit kind of went to the wayside. I tried to keep up on a lot of it, but you only have so much time in the day. So, she had kids and I wanted to be there for them, and I love them damn kids. It's the one thing I truly do miss from her and I being together. But that took up all my spare time when they were old enough to start playing basketball and have sports later. And I love taking her to cheer. It was great. Like I think it was Saturdays, not Sundays. Could have been Sundays. My memory sucks. A lot of times if my ex was a little under the weather, let's say drank a little too much. Unfortunately, she was a bit of an alcoholic, which, listen, I'm not going to hold anything back on this show. It's not going to make anybody look good. It's not going to make anybody feel good, but it's going to be like damn medicine. You got to sit back and take it. Now, hopefully it makes some people feel good, because we're all going through something. And her and I relationship wasn't the greatest. There were kids involved. If she was on the couch, not being able to get up, whatever, I would take all the kids to their sports and whatever. And I loved taking Madison to cheerleading. It was great. Even had to get up there in front of everybody on it was Parents' Day, something or other, where you have to get out and you cheer with one of your parents. Well, of course I'm going to get up there and do that with her. I would never, I was happy to do it. And always had a real natural relationship with the kids. They loved me, this and that, but it didn't leave much room for things that I wanted to do. I used to record music, used to stream and play Madden a bunch, and I stopped doing all that kind of shit. And then when things started going sour and going bad, that it was even worse, because it was so much back and forth, fighting, not being sure of the next day, what it's going to bring, whatever. And so I always felt bad about kind of gaining a following and then just leaving them hanging in a way. And I feel like I've done that a lot in my life, whether it's with friends, family, whoever. Always talk about when your kids for life, we're boys for life, we're this or that, we got each other's back. And I always did and felt that way. But if you get older and then just kind of lose touch with everybody, lose connection, or just stop streaming after you ask people to watch your channel and invest their time and energy into it. Now, obviously things happen, and I'm not saying it's the worst thing in the world, but certainly I always felt a little bad about that. So I'm glad to go live on Twitch, and I will continue to do so. As soon as I can and am able, I will hopefully go live on YouTube also. Because I can go with this setup I got and this place I'm streaming through, Riverside. I can go live through 4 different social media using Riverside. You can easily go in there and edit things with the AI. It'll take out all those stupid filler words where I say every fucking 2 seconds. I can quickly and easily get it done and then upload it to YouTube, upload it wherever else we need to. So things will get better and evolve. We just have to be able to do it. I have all these ideas, just got to be able to do it. All right, listen, I'm going to take a real quick break. What have we been streaming for? Only half an hour. That's fine. I got to clear my throat. Something's going on here. And so I'm going to get a drink, clear my throat. I'll throw up. I'm feeling fat. I got to throw up. Just kidding. I do not condone that. Never in life. No matter what that son of a bitch cunt, the SK, put me through, I swear to God, I never called her fat ever a day in her life. I never will either. She could have said the rudest shit to me. I would never say that to her because, something as simple as that. Yeah, I just said cunt. I was kind of joking. And I've said, don't get me wrong, I've said ignorant shit to her, but not something that will hurt her like that. I don't believe in shaming people for any reason unless, well, that's not true. People deserve to be shamed. That's what the TreesOnYa Pod's kind of about in a way. That's why I had to stop myself right there because I was about to take it a little too far. TreesOnYa Pod is about getting on people, subjects, whatever, that need it and calling them out if need be. Because there's a lot of stupid people out there that put their dumb opinions out. And then we don't have a lot of accountability these days. There used to be a saying, the best ability is availability. I'm changing that saying to the best ability is accountability. Because if you're not accountable, if you're not willing to hold yourself to a standard and then answer for it if you fuck up and say, look, I'm sorry, my bad, I fucked up, then how can you ever trust somebody not to just keep doing the same dumb shit they've always done? You know, like even when, if I've been in a relationship, that's all I've ever asked out of anybody is just be real with me. You know, hey, I screwed up. I'm sorry. I'm going to try not to have it happen again. And I think that's like a good quality to have. But unfortunately now in this world that we're living in, it's almost like that's seen as a weakness, and nobody, especially the people in government, it starts from the top down, from President Trump on down. And that, you know, fucking putting those two words together is still very difficult. The and. Just kidding. These people can't take accountability. If they make a fuck up, it's that's fake. It's not that, you know, it didn't happen. It's the hoaxsters. It's fake. It's fake. That's bullshit. You know, and this blind loyalty that people have where they'll just defend anything. It makes them look like complete hypocrites. And that is a good segue to the character that'll be coming up after the break, Jenny Bonson. Basically, his whole deal is he's a hypocrite. You know, he's a hypocrite. I'm not going to say who the character is based off of. I don't think it's very hard to figure out. I made it extremely easy. But it's funny watching some of these people where if it's somebody they don't like, their opinion and how fired up about it they get. And then somebody that they support and like will do the exact same thing. And it's like, no, that's fine. No big deal. It's all good. It's like, dude, get the fuck out of here. For one, it makes everybody seem fake. It makes it all seem like a show and like that there's no real there. You know, it's like that no one really believes or stands for anything. So I don't like it in that respect, because a lot of people's lives are getting affected by decisions that people in power make, or even influencers' opinions that they help people form, or they influence people. Even that affects everybody, affects our lives in a real way. So if somebody's only like doing shit for because of ulterior motives and being fake about it, that I can't respect that, and I have to go at that. So I will call people out and shame people if they need it, but not body shame. Not body shame. All right. That being said, I will be right back. Brandon, I appreciate you, my man. And thank you. And you know what? The reason I, look at that. This is why I've mentioned you in our conversation, previously on the show about going live to Instagram and how that was a good idea, and how I couldn't let perfect be the enemy of good. Like, you know, just because things aren't perfect or I can't do everything I want to do, that shouldn't stop me. It shouldn't take me 7 months to record an episode that people can actually watch. I haven't even uploaded a single video to the YouTube yet, but I wanted to do a lot with this show, and I still do, but I think we're getting there. I don't want to wear these big ass headphones. I'll tell you that right now. I don't want to do that. The X hit me up not out of the blue, but I'll get into that after the break. But anyway, I did what I always did. I was like, yeah, sure, no problem. I got you, blah, blah, blah. Ordered her some stuff on Amazon, just pretty much was like, oh, I got it, because I feel bad. If somebody needs help, I'm going to help them. If I care about them, I said it before, I can't hold a grudge. I don't have that bone in my body where I can hang on to things. Maybe it's because I'm an idiot and just like forget. My memory is terrible, but I just can't keep a grudge. I just can't. So, I got her like some of what I got her on Amazon, because she was having all this bullshit problems at her apartment, were like these mini dehumidifiers. And the reason I got them is because they like had a LED light on them. She needed them obviously, like to put in each of the kids' rooms, but I got the one that had a light, and I texted her and I was like, how did those dehumidifiers work out? I said, they had a light on them. I said, that was good enough for me. That's all it takes to make myself happy. A little LED light. I have a jellyfish hanging above my tablet. Wish I could get it on screen. an alien. You can't read the cat back there, but it says Midnight Cafe. I'm trying to do the damn thing. All right, listen, I'll be right back. I appreciate it. As always, we'll put on, since I can't play regular music because of copyright issues, I do have my music, my SoundCloud. So I will put on, I'm going to put on Heartbreaker because it is my best song, but I always play those stupid sound effects during it. So this time I won't, but I will be right back.
We go. Yo, I'm always judged on my back. Bitches heard I don't stick around. It's me, baby, it's true. Maybe it's the one you came to see. That maybe when your man's away and you wanna play, call my phone, that's all it takes. I'll scoop you up, I'll take you out. I'll do all them things that'll make you doubt what your man's about, what your man been doing. He ain't me, baby, that's been proven. I'm slick with it, I'm quick with it. If you give me one chance, girl, I'm gonna hit it. Yo. Sorry, baby, that's just how it goes. I'm a loner, baby, I'm a stoner, baby, and my heart has gotta go. I love you for the night, I forget how you lie, but then I gotta roll. I'm sorry, I mean it, I'm really not conceited, I just thought that you should know. I'm a heartbreaker, dream shaker, love maker. It's easy being honest and a hard to break a promise, and I think I'm making promise, but the string it makes me nauseous, made me often say some shit like this. I love you, wait, I hate you, bitch, same night, same girl, ain't right, I ain't sure if it's me or if it's him, if I can trust a bitch again. Maybe, but it's not it, so I'll just keep being mad about it, keep on being proud about it, keep on being sad about it, keep not bringing anyone around and hoping they don't ask about it, you relax about it. Damn, I understand, I got a plan, but for now, I'm just trying to be the man, I'm just trying the best I can. Yo, you got that, I've been down for too long, it's time that I fall back. Sorry, baby, that's just how it goes. I'm a loner, baby, I'm a stoner, baby, and my heart has gotta go. I love you for the night, I forget how you lie, but then I gotta roll. I'm sorry, I mean it, I'm really not conceited, I just thought that you should know. I'm a heartbreaker, dream shaker, love maker, don't you fucking made mistakes, no doubt it's true. My biggest mistake was giving a fuck about you, but now I'm through, and baby I'm on it. Like the rap game was the motherfucking chronic, I'm on one. Like the rap game was your mom, son. I ain't gonna stop until I make your mom come. I'ma take them all on, head first. Last day I was on, yo, that's what I said first. Y'all didn't know mine, didn't make it to dessert. We was all looking around, I was playing in the skirt. She just slow down.
Well, let me tell you something, brother.
She was laughing. You know what I'm saying? It can happen. She must have felt the same.
I'm gonna get off.
Smashing. That's
Your dog. Just a little bit on the breaking point.
Grab my bat and yeah. Sorry, baby, that's just how it goes. I'm a loner, baby, I'm a stoner, baby, and my heart has gotten cold. I love you for the night, I forget how you lie, but then I gotta roll. I'm sorry, I mean it, I'm really not conceited, I just thought that you should know. I'm a heartbreaker, dream shaker, love maker, don't you fuck a tree.
The song is called Wrote You on Your Birthday. It was about actually a girl that was in jail that would write me, Erica. She passed away. She was so sweet, so pretty. Miss you, Erica. There's a picture of a gravestone, because apparently that was something I did at one point in time in my life. I would get depressed and then walk through a cemetery and like read the names. And sometimes I'd find one that had my name on it and take a picture, because that's just totally normal shit to do. All right, Drew 2, we got to be done with you, Drew 2. It's too depressing. Okay?
Hey, man, you're the one that's talking and showing this shit, not me. Don't blame it on me, homie.
Yeah, that's true. Sorry, Drew 2. But you still have to go.
I'm out of the back like a Cadillac. Peace.
What was that? You turned black all of a sudden, Drew 2?
Yeah. And not all this a damn life, brother. So you best recognize and shut the fuck up.
Drew 2, you sound a little country there for me. Like you sound like you got a country drawl on that last one.
Yeah, man, I grew up in Alabama, down in the South and all that shit, man. Don't even fuck around with that you talking about, man. Don't know damn Drew 2, son bitch, you too, bitch.
Okay, enough of that. Goodbye, Drew 2. All right. Anyway, welcome back to the show. my throat is still fucked up. My voice still sounds the same. And I'm a little bit obsessed with words, if you haven't noticed. I have like the word of the day pops up on my phone every day. I read it. My favorite word I ever learned on word of the day is Brogdonnagian, which I guess means like huge, like tremendous size. That's what she said. She said, damn, Tree, you got that Brogdonnagian D. I said, I do. Certainly, I do. That's a joke. That's a joke. If a girl ever said Brogdonnagian to me, I'd divorce her. That's right. I'm about my words. My woman ain't. Okay? She's going to stay in the kitchen, stay in the bathroom cleaning, and never taking a shit. Because girls don't do that. And she better damn well. No, I'm just kidding. I feel the complete opposite of that. I think that shit's ridiculous. I think a lot of these guys, this is what I want to segue into on the second part of the show, is the culture that's out there and what is being portrayed, is being role modeled as a cool guy, let's say, or someone to aspire to. I'm talking about all this manosphere, the bro podcasts, what is considered cool, for lack of a better word, based. They came up with the word Riz. I came up with the word RIA. Figure out what that stands for, okay? If you got that RIA, I don't want to be ya. All right? So I'm still coming up with slang all these years later. I came up with that word RIA and also back in the day, scrunk. Those are the only two I ever came up with. Scrunk. It was like if one of your friends was a scrunk, was like a scrunk brother, a scrunk, meant he was, doesn't just mean ghetto. It means like ghetto to the degree that, like, even though he's your friend, you still got to watch your own back around him. Like, you know, like, or check your wallet, check for your wallet. If you left your wallet sitting around and had $100 in it, you know, when you come back, check to make sure it's got it all. Like, but you still love the guy, but you know, he's just scrunk. He's, you know, he's the type of guy that's going to go into Walmart, steal some batteries and then return them, knowing that you can return things at Walmart without a receipt a couple times a year. And batteries are expensive. And so he, you know, maybe a scrunk guy's type of guy, go in and steal some batteries, return them, get a Walmart gift card to buy some groceries. You know, he's just doing it to get food. Everybody needs food, but he got to do that scrunk shit. You know, all right, enough of that. The only other thing I invented, culture, let's just say, back in the day, living just an hour and 20 minutes north of Baltimore, here in sunny Edders, was the crab. I had this dance move. I swear to God. Actually, I don't swear to God. That's going a little strong. I'm just letting you know, people would do it. They would jump up like this, put their hands up. Now imagine you got to be on the dance floor and with like 8 other people, like in a line, kind of like you're doing one of those old school, like Macarena, or, you know, the dances where you got to line up on the dance floor. So imagine you got you and 7 of your people. You're turned up, twisted. You're on the dance floor. Your song comes on. You want to represent the Chesapeake Bay, Baltimore, Washington, D.C., even Beltway, let's call it. Inner and outer loop, 695 and 495 and 295, Baltimore, Washington Parkway. You want to represent this area. You jump out with your people on the dance floor. You go whap, 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 whap. You stop. Now, everything is in sync at this point, all of you. And then you do a turn. You jump. But it's not just a turn. It's a jump like a crab. I'm telling you. This shit was crazy to see in person. I only might have ever saw it in person once, and it might have been me and one other person doing it, but that shit hit. That dance, the crab. I mean, just, I don't have any fancy name for it. It's just a crab. Anyway, if you ever see anybody doing that, chances may be low that you do, but if you do, just know I came up with it. I originated it, and there you go. All right. I say all that to say this. I'm bringing it back to the point. When I was just a little baby boy, my mama used to tell me these crazy things. She used to tell me my daddy was an evil man. She used to tell me he hated me. But then I got a little bit older and I realized she was the crazy one. There was nothing I could do with Sega, try to change it, because that's just the way she was. They say I can't rap about coke no more. They ain't say I can't rap about coke no more. Choke no whore till the vocal cords don't work in the throat no more. All right. Thinking it just to be saying it. I don't remember the rest of it. Anyway, sorry about that. Sometimes my brain goes off. I swear, like probably 70% of the day, I have lyrics going through my mind. And it's just the dumbest shit. It just doesn't stop. I worry about the next generation coming up. What's being advertised as a cool guy? And I don't even mean like, you've always had dickhead role models, but if you could think back to when you were a kid, if you're not any longer, and if you are, listen up. Think of like who was the ideal like person you'd want to be like. I'm just trying to think of it. Never can I remember or recall a time where the people that have the most influence on kids or who are the most popular seem like the most douchebaggy of people, or just like, it's very hard for me to explain. And I don't know why I'm having such trouble with this, but I don't have kids, right? I'm still young enough. Maybe I will one day. I always thought for some reason it wasn't in the cards, and it hasn't been thus far. And maybe that is just a fact of I've created my own reality by thinking that, and that could be true. But the one thing I do regret about not having a child, I always, I always thought it'd be cool to have a daughter too. Like fucking guys are weird. They're like, I only want a son. But either one, the one thing I do regret about that is not being able to teach somebody what it means to me to like be a good person or to succeed in life. And everybody's definition of success is different. But it was one thing that always got me when I was with the SK and with my ex, because she had 3 kids from a previous relationship. Now, she had a son and then twins. I mentioned the twins part because I don't want you to think, she was like had like 3 kids to 3 different baby daddies. It wasn't like that. She was with somebody in a long-term relationship, had a couple of kids. I don't know why that even matters to me, but I feel a need to point it out. And what always bugged me a little bit was not being able to, because like if you come in as a step parent, and her and I were together for a long time, like 3 or 4 years, we lived together. So I was like a step parent. To be a good one, you gotta know your role, and you have to know, you gotta have a feel for not taking it too far. Like I was always tried to be very cognizant of the fact that they have a dad. That's not me. And so, although I can be the best person, role model, and step parent to them as I can be, there were some things that I would never be able to, like, okay, it's hard to explain. Like, it's not the same as a physical thing, but you could say like, oh, you're that baby, or, they have their mom's eyes or whatever. Like, there's just some things that come from the parents. And unless you want to be one of those people that oversteps your area and causes conflict, which isn't good for anybody, especially any kids, you got to know when to back it off and when you can. So I always felt like I couldn't, like I was never going to be the one to teach them other than by leading through, my example, like what it meant to be like a person, or, like I wouldn't be able to teach them. And I don't even know that most people or parents think of it that way, that they're really, because I could guarantee my ex, there's no way she can sit there and think to herself, like, I want my son to become this type of man when he grows up. So I'm going to instill this bit of wisdom or try and raise him this certain way, or, because if she does think about that and then still does the shit that she does, then she's fucking gone. And I know, I don't know where I'm going with this, but I do wish I was able to have a voice in being able to shape the next generation, whether that's through having a child or whatever instance, being an influencer. When I see, and maybe it reminded me because my ex, the SK, her kid's dad, the kid's father, he wasn't what I would think of as like what you'd want to grow up to be. But because maybe his family had money, or, they were successful in that way, it's easy to overlook all the character flaws and say like, oh, I want to grow up to be like that because look what they have, a farm and this or that and own land, blah, blah, blah. But now I don't want to shit on the guy too much, honestly. I'm not into that sort of thing. Kidding. But, he wasn't a good guy to maybe, whether it was from drinking or, I believe he did, I'm going to say accused of domestic violence, only because for legal reasons, let's say. So I really didn't like the guy too much. There were some things I respected about him, how he stepped up a little bit when she went downhill and took care of the kids in that way. But if I had my choice of like raising a kid, I would say like, don't grow up to be like this guy. But I don't know, I might be in the minority in saying that. Maybe when I was a kid, it would be that you wanted to strive to be kind of a Renaissance man, they called it, be able to do all those macho things, fix a car, construction, whatever the hell you consider that, but also be sensitive and smart and this and that. I feel like that was the ideal. If you'd ask people, what do you want to grow up to be if you could have everything perfect? I think it'd be more, even Hulk Hogan was, say your prayers, take your vitamins, go to school. There would just seem to be a lot of positive role models, let's say, and that was taken as a major deal. You're not being a good role model. It's why people started getting like canceled and stuff, which I do think went too far overboard. As a person that writes jokes and thinks of jokes and says a lot of colorful, fucked up things, none of it from a place of hate or racism intended or anything like that. But I know that I tell jokes that go up to the line and maybe cross it because I think it's funny. I think it's funny to watch people cringe. Not to say anything hateful or to be overtly obnoxious or against any certain type of group of people or anybody, because I don't have that in my heart. I'm not that way. And hopefully people will see that as the time goes on. But I believe in definitely having conversations and being real and funny and being just being able to talk without having to worry about somebody getting offended or saying something that maybe could be taken out of context and then used against you. I used to hate that shit when you'd be in a relationship. And I don't want to mention her dumbass name too many times, but the SK was a type of person that would do that you could like be chilling and share something real with, let's say, a certain individual had a seizure when he was a younger kid because he overdosed on a drug, and luckily one of his friends was there to save his life. Let's say you tell that story, and then she would, let's say 4 months later, you'd be in an argument, and then she'd say some dumb shit like, "Oh, you fucking drug addict, over to this and that." It's like, what? I told you that because we were vibing and just being cool, and now you're using it against me to slay me. It's crazy, but I don't believe in using what people say against them like that or holding anybody too seriously. I say it all the time, but everything you hear on this podcast is not either. It's both at the same time. It's 100% I'm joking and 100% I'm serious. Both at the same time, all the time. And I know that's a contradiction wrapped in an enigma, but it is what it is. That's kind of how it goes. I don't even remember the point of what the hell I was going to, but oh yeah, about being role models. It just felt like there was a bigger emphasis on on that. And so I feel like people maybe in my age range grew up. Maybe not. Maybe, see, this is why I'm having conversations, because maybe I've been wrong about this the entire time. I was going to say maybe we grew up with a more balanced frame of mind, more tolerant or more empathy or whatever. But with the way things are going now, maybe we didn't. Maybe we did. Maybe that got, maybe it got fucked up, or maybe it switched. I just know this. The people that are going to change the world are young people. It's not going to be 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds. You might have a 1 in a million, 1 in 100,000, whatever it is, of that age range that does. But what's going to make systemic changes and really sway things are young people. That's why I think it's important to be active in your community, whether that's with politics or community service, whatever it is. Now, listen, I wasn't doing community service when I was a kid, other than when I was forced to by the law. So I get it. I'm not saying everybody should be out there volunteering and stuff, but I do think that it's important to not only have people be informed by what's going on, but the ones that are informing them to be responsible with the shit they say. Maybe it's me, but so much of the shit that I see and watch and listen to seems fake. It seems like you can't trust what the person is saying, or everybody seems compromised. I don't know why I'm blanking so much on this. I think I'm going to switch the subject here in a minute, because I really don't want to go this deep on it, honestly. So I wasn't prepared. And I'm staring at this fucking stupid tombstone with my name on it. Maybe that's what's killing me too. I mean, that could be it. That could be making me feel morbid. I'm a moron, but not morbid. So I just, I think it's important to show people another side, and not just have one extreme to the other. When you perceive or picture what you intend a tough redneck guy to be in your mind, and what you would consider like the opposite type of guy on that range. Well, yeah, maybe that's fine, and you have people of both sides, but you can also have people in the middle too, a more nuanced take where you don't have to be pigeonholed into a certain person or thinking a certain way just because, maybe the other way would be looked at funny or make you look bad. And I know when I was growing up, when I was just a baby, I'm not going to do that again. It was considered like a good thing to be unique, to not be a follower, be a leader. Is that even still a thing anymore? Judging by friends, kids, or stuff that I see online or whatever, it doesn't, I don't know. If you just go by these bro podcasts, if that's who the kids grow up to be, people that are too fucking damn stupid to know their ass from their elbow, I guess, a tit from a tomato. Maybe I'm disillusioned with it after seeing Joe Rogan. Like I came way late to the Joe Rogan party, where I would just like catch clips on YouTube and stuff. And then when I seen this guy like simp so hard for Donald Trump and just kiss his ass, and have Elon Musk on there and kiss his ass and fucking just swallow all the bullshit. Hey, I liked Elon's first interview on Rogan, where he was, talking about simulation theory and this and that. Like I never watched the whole interview. I don't like the guy that much, but now Elon Musk is a fucking Nazi promoting all this bullshit on Twitter. Joe Rogan is simping for Donald Trump. And if you ask him why, I heard someone play why did you support Donald Trump so hard? And it was because of, look at how much he had to go to court They were trying to get, use lawfare against him. The motherfucker didn't go to court enough. They didn't do enough to stop him. After all the bullshit that he pulled before this last election, the guy never should even have been allowed to run. But unfortunately, when you had a state, I think it was Colorado, come out and say, all right, we're not going to allow him on the ballot, you have an uproar about it. There should have been an uproar about him even being on the ballot. Like it shouldn't make a difference what people are going to think. I think it's why this last election, here we go again with the election bullshit, could have been tampered with, but it's very odd that no one said anything about it. Like if it was tampered with and it was obvious to me, I've never been an election conspiracy person, and I don't vote all that much. So I don't have a right, a left, any of that. I'm not a political person. Okay. I'm not. I have things that are important to me and values that I care about, and that's it. And if they align with this side or that side, it's fine for me. And everybody has their own personal opinions, and that's fine too. I don't vote all that often. I'm not all that well informed, except for as of late. Now I think I am informed, certainly enough. And so I would never hold it against anybody who they voted for, if they're Democrat or Republican, whatever. I know plenty of my family voted for Donald Trump, and I love all of them. So that's not going to inform my opinion on anybody. But I can look around and see the things that are happening in life and like kind of zone out. I do zone the fuck out. Zoom out and see 30,000 foot view, the big picture, and notice that this world, our life, whatever, it's going the wrong direction, man. It is going the wrong direction. Now everything is turning ass backwards. I swear, this is why I was talking about the role model thing and questioning this, and maybe people can keep me better informed. And I hope to have people on, but I see things, I feel like, from a independent perspective, because I don't have kids, because I grew up poor, but I also am an average white guy in America, and life wasn't all that hard for me. I don't use anything as an excuse, like, oh, my mom left, blah, blah, blah. No, there's people that have had it way worse than me, and there's people that have had it way better. But I feel like I've seen every viewpoint, lived a good life. We said all this earlier about, we're now probably 50%. We're on the positive side, but barely. And so I'm able to zoom out and kind of look at things, and I don't love the way, the direction that things are headed. I don't. I don't see any accountability, people owning up for their mistakes, and I see absolute corruption, and I see fakery. The reason it bothers me so much is, it was a big deal back then. Oh, keep it real. Loyalty is very important to me, honestly, and always has been. But it was an important part of growing up, snitches get stitches, whatever. But it's the fakeness of it all that bothers me. It's the fakeness of it. It's that they'll scream one opinion. Let's say Joe Biden is president. You know what? This is actually a good segue. Let's bring in my guest tonight, Jenny Bonson. Drew 2, what do you think? Should we bring in Jenny?
Yeah, I think it's time. Let's bring in Jenny.
All right, let's do it. Everybody, this is Jenny Bonson. And I think he encapsulates a lot of what I'm referring to, where if it's Donald Trump, everything is hunky-dory, perfect, and can do no wrong. But if it's Joe Biden or Barack Obama, it's the end of the world. And it's a lot of hypocrisy. And when it's so blatant that it just feels so fake to me, that it just feels so, these guys aren't good enough actors. If they were, they'd be in Hollywood. They wouldn't be doing a dumb fucking podcast on YouTube, even with all the Russian money. And then to sit there and so obviously lie or be such a hypocrite with no shame. Nobody has any shame anymore. Nobody has any shame. That's why earlier when I talked about not shaming anybody, I had to stop myself in my tracks, because part of this show is I am going to shame some motherfuckers because they deserve it. And I'm sick of the hypocrisy, the bullshit, the lying. acting like you're Captain Everyman and then simping for billionaires. That's bullshit to me. And on that note, let's bring in Jenny.
Hello, TreesOnYa. I'm
Hey,
doing
what's
great.
up, buddy? Easy, Jenny Bonson. You're smiling like a donut. How you doing?
Doing great. How could I not be? Donald Trump is president.
Oh, okay. All right. I guess.
Every day is wonderful, filled with sunshine and rainbows.
Are you sure? Do you have more money? Are you doing better at all than you were when Biden was the president?
No, I don't have more money. Money? Who needs money? It comes, it goes. Everybody loses money.
Everybody loses money. What is this? When I can remember when Biden was president, you going off about the stock market, 401ks being terrible, and that it's the worst president in the world. But now nobody needs money. Does anybody need a 401k?
Freedoms, rights? No.
Freedoms? Yeah.
Who needs freedoms and rights?
No?
Yeah, they could take all my rights away as long as they want. I trust Donald Trump.
Oh my God.
Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, that low IQ individual? Please, they were radical left lunatics destroying our country. You and I wouldn't even be here if she was president.
What?
If it wasn't for Donald J. Trump and God, we would all
And
be
God?
in trouble. Remember that.
I will not remember that. You, sir, are out of line.
And remember, if you're trans and trying to play sports, fuck you. You're the devil.
What?
I can spell my name, Jenny, with a G, even though it's a woman's name, because I'm that manly.
You
But
don't
if
look
anybody
manly.
else does it, it's gay.
Christ.
Same with sucking dick.
All right.
All right. On that note,
All right.
God bless Donald Trump,
Okay.
and I'll see you later. Thank you.
See you, Jenny. Bye, buddy. Adios. All right. There he was. Jenny Bonson, everybody. Jenny, that was a little rough. Did he say something about sucking dick at the end? Am I hearing that right? It's only gay when somebody else does it? Like it's always these like anti-gay fucking fake tough guys that are caught up in some weird shit. And I'm not saying gay is a weird shit. I'm saying acting like you're against gay people or gay rights or whatever, and then being a closeted gay person is weird. That's what I'm saying. It's weird. But I've noticed that a lot, and that's also hypocritical. It's fine if you wanted to be in the closet and keep your mouth shut, like as in like not advocate against gay rights or gay people or trans people or whatever. That's fine. Live your life and do you. I'm talking about the people that are publicly adamantly opposed to if they see a fucking rainbow flag, it twists their dick up or something, like they get their dick in a knot about it. And, they got to drive by a parade and with their fucking Trump flag or some bullshit like that. I'm talking about the type of people that are adamantly and obnoxiously against these things that they do when none of the lights are on, It's that type of shit. It's that type of shit that's hurting our country, in my opinion. I think it's the fault of everybody, of all of us. It went too far on one end, maybe, with people being too sensitive and trying to, when they're changing the Washington Redskins football team name, I do think that was stupid. For it to be like people that are just like for white people to be petitioning to change the Washington Redskins name is stupid. And I think a lot of that shit where you can look at the other side of things, not on that issue, but you can look at things that people that feel opposite have done or said that is completely like where's the common sense? Like, if you just use common sense, you wouldn't think how you do or say what you do. But when all liberal people do the same thing where you're not using common sense on like shit like that, like the name change, it allows both sides to do that over the top hypocritical bullshit. So I think it's just high time that everybody came together and was like, look, I fucked up. I took things a little too far. Yes, that was stupid. That was dumb. That was hurtful. It was mean. Shouldn't say that. I think a lot could be accomplished if people just owned up to their own bullshit. And we're just like, yeah, you know what? I'm sorry. We fucked up. It is what it is. And let's figure out how to make it work or make it right. It's almost like this. There's so many things that point me towards thinking that life is a simulation. I don't know how anybody else feels about it, but the first time I heard of simulation theory, something like really resonated with me. I don't know if I was just like stupid high at the time or what, but like something about simulation theory actually does resonate with me. Just the way that I explained it earlier about creating your own reality on like just choosing to be upset or not upset or choosing to be happy, manifesting your own reality, creating your own destiny, your own reality, meditating and kind of focusing on your goals and what you want in life. Like I believe in all of that stuff. I wish I could do it. I don't do it. I've never meditated before. My brain doesn't shut down enough to meditate. It barely shuts down enough to masturbate, let alone meditate. All right, where are you at, Drew, too?
I'm right here, man. What's up? How's it going? Just heard you say masturbate.
Yeah, I did. That's my little cat, Cleo. Clee, I miss you. That was, we did call her Santa Cat, too. The kids did because Jameson thought she looked like she had a beard. So he called her Santa Cat. Miss you, Cleo. She was so sweet. Part Siamese, part Mancoon. Got her from my buddy Louie and Derek. So she came straight out of the trailer park. Took her home. Never regretted it a day in my life until the day she freaking died. All right, Drew, too. You gotta go. While we're doing characters, there is something I wanted to get into. How about fucking P. Diddy? Do you think they're gonna let him out of jail with all the horrible shit they said he did? For him to only get convicted of the lesser of all of his charges, like some drug charges or something, but he got off on like the RICO sex trafficking and this and that. And so, his sentencing can only be a couple of years in jail, if that. I wonder if they let him out, though, because when him going in, you would never think that they'd let him out. Like, with all the horrible shit they said he did, and I'm sure he did do much of it. How do you let a guy like that out of jail? I don't know.
Have you ever felt like something's off, like deja vu? Or moments that feel too perfectly timed? Some scientists and philosophers believe we might be living in a simulation. Yes, like the Matrix. If it's true, then everything, our struggles, our wins, our love, they're data. But here's the twist. Even if we are in a simulation, we still feel, we still dream. And
I
those
don't like
dreams,
this one.
They matter. Narration, inspiring. Maybe the point isn't to break the simulation. Maybe it's to live it beautifully.
That was stupid. That was fucking dumb.
Elon Musk says that we're living in a simulation. He's not the only person that theorizes this. Basically, we're in a video game being controlled by higher beings, and we're all just like in Super Mario.
All right. I can't take it. I'm gonna have to explain simulation theory because that was crazy bullshit. Okay, simulation theory can mean a lot of different things. There are people that agree that it would be as if, like you see in the Matrix almost, where you're plugged into a system, but you have a body that's not in this reality, that there is a physical body, a physical you plugged into some sort of system, a simulation, a headset, a virtual reality, and that the world we're living in is that virtual reality. That's one definition, very simple, of simulation theory, that we are living in a computer program. There's some faults there on why people think that could or could not be possible. One being the amount of power it would take to power, just the computing power to make a simulation, a universe, large simulation for all of us. That would practically take more energy than what is possible or even exists. Another definition maybe of simulation theory is that there isn't a physical you tied to that's outside of the simulation, that we are just our consciousness, our minds, whether that be one brain all experiencing us ourselves as individuals, so that that brain can know what it's like to live our lives, a way to experience what it is to be a person, a human being, all at one time. There's a lot of people that believe that we're all one. I think that's called the law of one, where we all come from the same universal consciousness, and we're kind of beamed out to experience life individually and report back basically to the creator, to the main consciousness. And it's a way to experience how to be human. So there's that theory. There's a theory, it's hard for me to explain the holographic principle or the holographic light matrix, but basically everything that we see is light. And like in a video game, if you're in GTA and you're in one part of the city, that part you can see, it's rendered in the game. But if you ever get in a car and drive like real fast, sometimes you can see the buildings loading and popping up as you drive. They're rendering, as you get close enough to them to see them in the game. It's so that the game doesn't have to render the whole city all at one time. It only renders what you can see. And then that saves space, energy, saves the game from having to, work too hard, basically, processing power. And there's people that believe that happens in real life. When you're not at your house isn't there. Your house exists as potential, as a group of possibilities. And then once you get close enough to your house to see it, I guess, then it collapses into your house, into physical matter. It's, how they did this double slit experiment where they shot photons at some slits in the wall. They shot light at a wall that had some slits in it. And they wanted to see on the other side of that screen, that with the slits, they wanted to see how the light hit the wall behind it. Would it come through one at a time as a particle and hit on either side? Say there's a slit on the right or left. Will it hit the back wall on the left side and the right side individually? Or would it act as a wave where it's not shooting individual particles, but it's just beaming out as one solid wave? But then they would see on the wall behind the screen, they would see it hit the wall as a wave, have a wave pattern to it through the slits. And it turned out that it did both. Somehow it did both. It started off as a wave when you weren't looking at it. If they didn't monitor it or watch it happen, it would hit the back wall as a wave pattern. But when you put a monitor on it, a camera, something to watch what's happening while it happens, it would then collapse into a particle and hit the wall like a particle. So when you weren't watching it, it was a wave. When you did watch it, it was a particle. And that was crazy. Like that honestly, that's the only science shit that I think I've ever remembered because of how crazy that is. Because before you watched it, it was both things at once. It didn't choose what to do until you observed it. And so that's pretty trippy. And so if you follow that logic, everything in life could be that way. And all you have is your present mind, what you're experiencing at that given moment. And everything else just exists as possibilities or as the past. I don't know what the past would exist as. Sometimes, if you want to get way out there, there's things as the Mandela effect. If you know what that is, it's where a mass amount of people misremember the same thing. I'll give you some examples. Forrest Gump. In the movie, he says something like, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. But he actually says, life was like a box of chocolates. But many people would swear that he says life is like a box of chocolates. Same thing with Berenstain Bears. A lot of people remember as Berenstein Bears. And the crazy thing about the Berenstein Bears, Berenstain is what they're called, spelled S-T-A-I-N, not S-T-E-I-N. Yeah, I remember those books as a kid, but here's the most crazy thing, and I swear to God, I'm telling the truth right here. I like watching videos about the Mandela effect, simulation theory, all this stuff I like and I'm into. But my ex-girlfriend isn't. She doesn't watch any of that stuff, doesn't watch YouTube unless it's YouTube Shorts, whatever. So, but because she has kids, I knew she wouldn't have an opinion on Berenstain or Berenstein. And when I heard the Mandela effect and saw it, I know that I remembered it as the opposite. I didn't remember Berenstain, I guess. This is why I can't be sure. You're going to understand what I'm talking about in a second. I know that whatever way they said it really was in reality, I remembered it the opposite way. And so I wanted to ask my girlfriend how she remembered it, because I was like, okay, we're around the same age. She has kids. She'll know this book. How does she remember it? And she doesn't know anything about the Mandela effect. So it was an unbiased opinion. And so one day I was like, babe, this Berenstain Bears, what is it? Is it Berenstain or Berenstein? And her and I remembered it the same way. She said I didn't even cloud her judgment. I didn't say it like that. I didn't say Berenstain or Berenstein, because that would cloud someone's judgment, even if a little bit, because they'd hear it. I said it to her like, babe, you remember those books we read as a kid with the bears that helped us read? What were those called? So I said it like that to try and get her unbiased opinion. And she said it the way that I remembered it, the wrong way. So we had this conversation. And then I told her about the Mandela effect. I was like, that's funny you said that, because I remember it that way too, but they actually said it's Berenstain. And I remember her being like, oh, that's crazy. There's no way. You know, we had a 10-minute conversation about it. Clear as day. The logic was easy to follow. We both remembered it wrongly. Fast forward. We never talked about it again after that. Fast forward a year from that conversation. And I swear to God, it is now the way that I remember it is now the way it is in reality. It is Berenstain Bears. That's how I remember it as a kid. But when I had this conversation with my ex-girlfriend, we both remembered it wrongly than what it was in reality. So I know that conversation happened. I know I remembered it differently than what they said it was. But now, a year later, I remember it the right way. It's like it changed. I know that my memory is not good, and people can say it's just a memory thing and blah, blah, blah. But I don't believe that. To have that, for me to like actually care about the Mandela effect, it's not like I got it confused, because I'm not a moron. I watched the video. I saw what it was, what they said it was. I knew I remembered it opposite. And so I did the thing with the girlfriend, and even did it in a way that wouldn't let her answer in an unbiased way. But then fast forward a year, and now I remember it the correct way. That's crazy, man. I don't even bother going and asking her again, because she probably wouldn't even remember our conversation from before. Like, it wasn't even a thing to her. You know, that's why she was the perfect person to ask. But it switched. It switched. And so I think there's some stuff going on that we're not really aware of. People can claim they know what the hell is going on. I don't think we do. I think this could be some sort of simulation. Which kind it is, I don't know. You know, how could you? Whether there's a way to hack the simulation, I don't know about any of that. And I don't even know what the point of it is. But I know that I dream. Every time I fall asleep, practically I dream. Unless I'm like drunk or dead tired or something. I don't drink really that often, but you know, like something like that. If I took a couple Valium or something. But I dream all the time. I think it's why I go so long without seeing people and talking to people, because I dream about people all the time. I just dreamt. They're not even crazy, like cool dreams. I don't even really have nightmares either. I've had fucked up things happen in dreams, but it doesn't really scare me like that. One time I had a dream where I had to jump out the window of a car because two like demons picked me up, Like I jumped in the car and then it ended up being like vampires or something driving. And so I was like, fuck this. And so I knew I would wake up if I jumped out and like, you know, cause you always wake up before you die in a dream. So I remember thinking in the dream, like, oh, I got to wake the fuck up. This is crazy. So I'm gonna jump out the window. And so, you know, that kind of shit, it just makes you wonder. I've had dreams where I'm like, all right, I'm in a dream, so I'm going to jump like really high, or I'm going to not be scared of heights or something, you know. But most of my dreams are just real simple shit of like my family, my friends, people that I knew 20 years ago or went to school with or whatever. I just had a dream about my brothers last night where we're just like at the house, and I forget what the dream was about. Something like we were at the house and everybody redid their bathroom. Everybody had their own bathroom for some reason in their room and redid it, except for my bathroom because I wasn't there. And so I, like my shower was all fucked up and nobody would like let me take a shower in their shower. And so I got pissed about it. That's what the dream was about. That's fucking stupid. Like, but I dream of people all the time. And so I think there's some ways to enhance the simulation, let's say, whether that's like taking DMT, taking LSD, mushrooms like psilocybin. I'm not going to condone drug use, but I did have a saying growing up. I would tell people I don't have a drug problem. I got a drug answer. Drugs are the answer to my problems. So that'll give you my view on things. And I know I don't look good tonight. I got like this shit under my eye, my head. It's damn near 4:30 in the morning. I'm not waking up early. I've been up all damn night. That's the thing. I got to get more sleep. I love the sleep, but I don't get enough of it. All right. Anyway, I'm going on 2 hours. Usually each episode's like 2 hours. So that's cool. 10th grade memory. Clearly German. Yo, I don't know what to do about this because Berenstain. Let me ask you a question. How do you remember it? Do you remember Berenstain or Berenstein? There's no fucking way you remember Berenstein. That would be German. Das ist nicht so gut. Yo, I have such a funny joke. All right, we're going to bring in a character real quick. This isn't the funny joke. This one's stupid. This is, hell's his name? Jeffrey the Rapey Ghost. You've heard of Casper the Friendly Ghost. Well, I figured with Epstein in the news so much lately that I would try and get a hold of him. Maybe channel him. If it is a simulation theory, you know, maybe I can get something to happen here. So I went ahead and took the liberty of using my Ouija board. I actually had my younger cousin use the Ouija board because I thought a female would entice Jeffrey the Ghost. And sure enough, he did. But we channeled, my younger cousin channeled Jeffrey the Rapey Ghost. Let's check in and see what he's up to.
Hello. Yes,
hey, Jeffrey.
I'm doing well. Just come from the showers. Or should I say I just came in the showers.
Okay. That's a little tough, Jeffrey. Just came in the showers. I'm going to ignore that. What are you coming from? Football practice? You got Penn State shirt on. I guess you were at football.
Football practice? Lord's no. Just the showers.
What? Why?
I found some nice young women to come work for me.
Nice young women to come work for you? In the showers? How old are these women?
For me? What are you, their parent? Doesn't
Yeah.
matter how old they are. They're old enough.
Oh my God.
That's right.
Jeffrey.
All right, gotta go. Got more
All right.
raping to do.
Oh,
Tell my
jeez.
friend Mr. President I said hello. Almost said his name.
Don't do that.
Then old Jeffrey the Ghost would have to be looking over his shoulder again like I did back in prison.
Wow.
Bye now.
Bye. Bye, Jeffrey. Jeffrey the Rapey Ghost, everyone. There he is, Jeffrey the Rapey Ghost. Give him a hand. Give him a round of applause. Give him a round of applause. All right. last segment of the show. I want to talk about something. This is the TreesOnYa Pod. I am your host, TreesOnYa, host, king, whatever you want to call me. Let's finish this out with a bang, so to speak. We've been going for 2 hours, and that last like probably half hour, I'll probably just edit out before I uploaded it, just so you know, because I do think I look crazy. I'm not looking like the young Don Juan today. All right, but that's okay. Yeah, I'll get a little rest. We'll be fine. I'm gonna take a real quick break. TreesOnYa news of the week.
TreesOnYa Pod news of the week.
Because I want to talk about this 3-eye Atlas comet that is coming towards America. Yeah, that's right. America's the whole world, damn it. The rest doesn't matter. Coming towards Earth, what people are saying about it, why you should be not concerned, but at least aware of it, and what you should be aware of people trying to gaslight you about it also. So I'm going to try and give you my honest and unfiltered opinion on 3-eye Atlas when we come back. So hang out, stick around or don't. But I think people should know about this 3-eye Atlas.
Been up late, I've been smoking, I've been broken. I fixed this shit with this shit in motion. No more coasting, hand once and ghosting. I noticed that light in your eyes is bright when we close. And you were the only one I ever trusted, even though I never trusted you. And that's a fucked up thing to say, girl, but you know that it's true. You were the only one I ever trusted, even though I never trusted you. And that's a fucked up thing to say, girl, but you know that it's true.
It's true. All right, enough of that.
Introducing the TreesOnYa Pod.
All right. Usually had like a faux hawk, I guess they'd call it. I call it a fuck off because most girls I'd approach told me to fuck off. Maybe like another inch or something. That's what she said. Just another inch. She said it. She didn't say it to me. Fuck no. All right. I'm back. All right. 3-eye Atlas. Let's bring up old TreesOnYa here. Drew 2, you ready? You ready, buddy? I like having Drew 2. He's basically a robot. He's my second. I like, my name is Andrew, if anybody didn't know. A lot of people growing up call me Andy, but which I liked. I still do. But my girlfriend and, those closest to me would call me Andrew or Drew. So Drew 2 is just a robot me. Drew 2, how's it going, buddy?
It's going, man. Don't you ever call me robot, you son of a bitch.
All right, Drew 2, chill, relax. I said relax. All right, this is 3-eye Atlas. So what you're looking at here is the solar system and part of the solar system and the orbits of the different planet. You got Jupiter up here. I don't see Uranus, but that's probably a good thing. I prefer to call it Uranus. I mean, come on, grow up. Uranus always gets a good joke. Here's Earth right here. This blue dot, Venus, Mercury, and here's the sun. You got Mars out here, this bad boy. So basically, this 3-eye Atlas, this comet, and there's some weird things about this comet. The 3-eye stands for 3 interstellar. This is the third interstellar object we've tracked in the history of mankind, I guess. They have just been able to do this and track these objects, I think, starting in 2017, 2015. So since then, this is the third one to come into our solar system. That is what interstellar means. It's outside our solar system. Doesn't mean outside the galaxy, just means it didn't come from inside our solar system. Because we got a lot of rocks, comets, whatever floating around. Sure, there's such a thing called the Oort cloud or some shit. This came from outside our solar system. From where? Who knows? But that's the crazy thing about it. The first 2 objects that came into our solar system, I forget the first one's name. The second one you might have heard of, called Oumuamua. It was seen by an observatory in Hawaii. That's why they called it Oumuamua. It's a Hawaiian term for like greeter from afar or something like that, like visitor from afar. And Oumuamua was interesting because it was kind of cigar. It was Tupac Shakur shaped. It was cigar shaped, which some alien craft have been rumored to be this shape. It didn't have the same like typical characteristics of a regular comet or a meteor. It propelled itself. It picked up speed at a certain point without showing any outgassing, they call it, where like if a comet, I don't know if it's a comet or a meteor, one of the two is just like a chunk of ice. And when it's going through space, the ice and whatever else turns into gas and gives it like a tail, cometary tail. So this Oumuamua didn't have this cometary tail, I guess, or something. Something weird about it. And so this guy from Harvard, Avi Loeb, who that's this guy right here. See, it says Three-Eye Atlas first and then Oumuamua. Here's Avi Loeb. Let's hear from him himself.
Three-Eye Atlas was strange in my mind the minute I heard about it, because it was discovered at a distance of 4.5 times the Earth-Sun separation, and yet it was discovered with a telescope that is only half a meter in diameter. And the reason is because it was relatively bright. If it was a solid object, then it should have been 20 kilometers in diameter, bigger than Manhattan Island, bigger, twice as large as the
This thing is big.
killed the dinosaurs, right? 66 million.
It's very big.
So it's a giant object.
That's what she said.
Now, there is a problem with a giant object. There is
That's what she
not
said.
enough material in interstellar space to make such a giant rock and send it our way every few years.
And it's going fast.
Few years
This thing is
observing the
flying.
sky. And I suggested that the simplest solution would be if it's less than a kilometer in size, and then it's surrounded by a cloud of dust, in which case it would be a comet. The problem is we haven't detected yet the signatures of molecules of gas around it. All we saw is this object is red. The color is
my
red.
favorite color.
The
red.
reflected sunlight from it is red, but that could be coming from its surface. A lot of objects in the outskirts of the solar system are red. So
I didn't know that.
It might well be that when it comes closer to the sun, it's making its way now towards the sun.
Right.
Then it will evaporate much more clearly, and then we would see a plume of gas and dust, and it would appear to be clearly a comet, in which case we shouldn't worry too much. But then I also noticed with two colleagues, we wrote a paper saying that its trajectory is very unusual because
listen to this part.
The trajectory is in the plane of the orbit of the Earth around the sun, and within 5 degrees. And
meaning when the planet's Earth, he's talking about here, orbits the sun. Let's say you got the sun here, Earth here. That horizontal plane, the Earth doesn't go up and down. It goes around the sun. So this comet is coming in on the same horizontal plane. Usually it would come in above the Earth, maybe who knows how many miles. The universe, or, the universe, I guess, or our galaxy, I don't know how they could consider it, is not nearly as thick as it is long. I guess that's what she said too. Meaning, we're, let's say, billions of light years long, but only, let's say, 100 million light years wide up and down. But, it's still a good bit of space. Usually these objects don't come in on the same orbital plane, or as Avi's saying, within 5 degrees. They would come in either higher or lower than that. But this one's coming in on the same horizontal plane, same trajectory as the Earth, which is very odd. What's also odd about it too, this is only the third interstellar object we've detected, but it's massive. The first two were only, few hundred meters big or whatever. This thing, I forget what he said, but it's like bigger than Manhattan. It's like 13 kilometers wide, or at least the cloud around it is. And so they're thinking this thing is giant. It's bigger than what he said, the rock that killed the dinosaurs. But it's moving. It's going like 68 kilometers a second or something. So it's really flying. And if you look at let's go back one. Let's look at this trajectory one again. Let's see if it comes in. I'll pause it. All right, right here. Okay, there's Three-Eye Atlas. There's Mars. This thing is passing very close to Mars. Now, you'll have some people on Reddit that are assholes, obviously. I'm just kidding, but I'm not. that will say, oh, it's not even close to Mars. It just looks like that because of the scale of this animation. And that's true to a certain degree. I think it's like, it's going to be like 1 point something million miles away from Mars. But that's not all that big in the span. And how big is space to come that close? It just seems odd to me. And what I'm thinking is, this thing is traveling fast, as I said, but not any faster than normal. That's the wrong way to phrase it. Not any faster than what's possible. Like, it's not traveling near the speed of light or anything. It's traveling, let's say, what we could maybe get a chemical rocket up to travel. I actually didn't look that up, like how fast we can get a rocket going and how fast this thing is going in comparison. It's probably going way faster than what we could get a rocket going. But if you think about how far it's come, maybe it's got a type of engine where, like a pulse engine, where it's like it's giving itself thrust as it picks up speed. And then, you know, it's just using gravity or whatever. Like it's getting faster and faster the further it drives. So maybe when this thing's set out, if it isn't a comet, if it's something artificial, which is that's kind of what Avi's not saying it's artificial, but he's saying keep an open mind that maybe it could be. Because for one, what do you lose in considering the possibility? Nothing. You only, I would think, are more prepared considering all possibilities. And it's a good thought exercise too, just to think, like, if this thing is not a comet and it's actually some sort of spaceship, let's say, for lack of better words, maybe at the time it set off, because it takes too long to go between star systems, solar system to solar system, with conventional rockets as we know them. The amount of time it would take to get to the next closest star is like 100 years or something, or maybe 100,000 years with the speed that we can go. It might be 100 years if we went close to the speed of light. So a lot of what's been proposed about, if something comes and visits us, that it's not going to necessarily have a crew of aliens on it, biological beings. It's going to be more likely than not AI, artificial intelligence, or Allen Iverson, one of the two. I wasn't quite sure on which one, but probably artificial intelligence. So let's say this rocket, if it is that, set off 1 billion years ago or 300,000 years ago, maybe not 1 billion, that's a little much. Could it have been when it set off that long ago? Maybe people did live on Mars. Maybe Mars, and this is not maybe, it's a probable, Mars was habitable at one point in time. It might be 1 billion years ago that Mars was like the Earth, or where people could live on it. Mars is very intriguing. Not as intriguing as the moon, but very intriguing. And there is a scientist, or a group of people, that believe that Mars shows signs of nuclear war, basically. Like, there have been nukes set off on Mars, certain isotopes or whatever in the soil. I don't know how they measured it, whether it was from the soil, like from a rover, or if it's something that they can see with telescopes, like different light spectrums. But whatever, they detected some sort of gas or isotope on Mars that only happens, it's only made with a nuclear bomb. Like, the only way to cause that to happen is with a nuclear bomb, or to the amounts that they found it on Mars. And so it's not a naturally occurring isotope, or, I don't know. I'm not a damn scientist. All I know is Mars is very strange. If you ever seen this picture of the face on Mars, they say it's just pareidolia, where it just looks like a face that anything humans look at, we try and humanize it or see a picture in it, patterns. I don't believe that. So it looks so creepy, the face on Mars. And there's pyramids by the face on Mars. So maybe when this thing set out, if it is artificial, Mars was the habitable planet and not Earth. Now, there's still some things that this thing can do. If I press play here, look at 3i Atlas, how close it comes to Mars. But then eventually it comes close to Jupiter also, all the way out here to Jupiter. And Jupiter is a giant planet. There's things, I guess, you can do. Well, this is simple orbital mechanics, folks. I mean, come on. I'm no Alfred Einstein, but anyway, you could, with the gravity from Jupiter or from Mars, you could do kind of like a slingshot where you use the gravity from that planet to slow you down and sling you around and back towards the sun or back towards Earth. And being on the same orbital plane as Earth, maybe they are going to do some sort of maneuver, a gravity break situation around Mars and intercept with Earth. Or maybe they were sent out and they think Mars is where people are at. I don't know, but it's worth taking an eye on because this thing is supposed to pass closest to Earth. An astronomical unit is the distance between Earth and the sun, which is very fucking far. So yeah, November, December of this year. So why did I hear there's been this thing put out in UFO circles of the date of 2027. Some people are saying 2026, but there's been this thing, Jeremy Corbell said it, where the government is going to try and push a lie on people and say that aliens are on their way, we've detected them, and they'll be here in 2027.
One truth, and that truth is that UFOs are real. They've already done told you. Sometimes when you want somebody to know a truth, it's so you can set them up to believe a lie. And that's coming. I have zero doubt that lie is coming. What is the lie? Specifically, you want me to say it right now, for real? Real? On camera.
So anyway, there's this thing in UFO circles where the government's going to try and basically fake an alien invasion. They could do it for a lot of different reasons. One world government, a way to, scare the public into giving up some of their freedoms and changing things around the status quo and putting other people in charge or keeping people in charge or whatever. There's so many different motivations that we won't even get into it. But that's why this thing is interesting to keep an eye on, because it's already displayed some.
So UFOs are real, and they've been here a long time, and that's the truth. But the lie is coming. All indications, like all of them, is that that lie is going to be that there is a craft slowly making its way to us here on Earth. And that is the lie they're going to want you to believe.
I'm not saying anything is going to happen or that you should be too worried about it, because most likely it's probably just a comet. But it is something to keep an eye on and be aware of, especially if they try and start saying that aliens are on their way and they're hostile. Because I do respect, a lot of people might not, but I respect Dr. Stephen Greer, and he's actually the guy that got me into UFOs. I saw one of his videos on YouTube randomly, and it floored me because he was coming with facts and documents and laid it all out in a presentation, and I was like, Jesus Christ, he's fucking right. Marilyn Monroe was killed because she was going to out the secrets of JFK and about aliens. Damn right, he's got the documents. So it really affected me. So I'll always respect Dr. Greer, but he's been preaching for a long time that there's this Project Bluebeam where they're going to fake an alien invasion. One woman that was very close to him was close to this Werner von Braun, former Nazi guy, I guess, that ended up, coming over here after World War II and starting NASA practically. He was a rocket dude. He wasn't Elton John. I was to say John Elton. Elton John, the Rocket Man. I do love that song. But Werner von Braun invented basically rocketry. And one of his close staff members, Carol Ross, and I believe her name was, used to always say, von Braun warned her that they're going to try and weaponize space. And the way they're going to do it is to fake an alien invasion or to blame it on hostile aliens. And that's going to give them the opportunity they need to put weapons in space, and that would be very dangerous and deadly for us, because I know I'm going to sound like a crackpot here, but there's a lot of shit going down right now with this disclosure. There's metal spheres, these balls flying around the planet. You ever heard of the Mosul Orb? I'm not talking about the Booga sphere that was found in Colombia. That is one, the most recent. A lot of people don't have faith in the Boogosphere. They say, why would it be in Buga, Colombia? I think that's obvious. The Boogosphere, it came for the Booga Sugar. Why else would you go to Colombia? You need that Booga Sugar. You know? Sorry. That was a bad joke, clearly. Booga Sugar, you know, booger sugar, cocaine, Colombia. You get it? All right. Anyway, that's, if anybody asks you why the Boogosphere was in Colombia, is because he's looking for the Booga Sugar. Let's forget about that one. The Mosul Orb, it's called. That was filmed from a military drone or whatever. Just a metal ball flying. No wings, no visible means of propulsion. That means no motor, no gas coming out the back of it. Just a metal ball flying through the air. And that's something that the government has filmed and released and said that it is accurate and they don't know what it is. So to sit here this many years later after they admitted that back in 2018, 20, I don't remember what it was, and to say that something is not visiting this planet would be asinine. And unfortunately, you would think that's like one of the big answers in life or questions in life, you know, what happens when you die and are we alone? And no one even gives a fuck, or like a lot of people don't give a fuck. It's crazy. It is really crazy. The cognitive dissonance that like people treat this subject with. And I have a lot of feelings on why that is, but I'm not going to get into that now because we're already 2.5 hours into this podcast. But just know that there is crazy things going on right now. The government has admitted to a lot. They're still hiding a lot. There's this woman, Dr. Beatrice Varel. Anyway, she's about to publish a paper to be peer reviewed of what she calls transient objects. She took a bunch of pictures from the sky, like they do these sky surveys back in the day with telescopes, before any satellites were put into orbit, before Sputnik, the first satellite by the Russians. So this was, I think she was looking at plates, they call them, from 1952 that chart the stars. And she found all these objects, I think she said millions of them, but thousands of them definitely, that they would be there 1 hour and then you take a photo of the sky the next day or the next hour or whatever, and then they'd be gone. And that doesn't happen with stars. They don't just come and show up and then leave. They're always there when you take a picture of the sky. I have a feeling, I believe that they do change, maybe nightly. We just don't know that. And I think a lot of things disguise themselves as stars, honestly. But she is like a legitimate scientist, and she's publishing a paper documenting these transient objects. And she's not saying what they are. We don't know what they are. But there is a possibility that there has been and always has been, or has been for a long time, some sort of surveillance system around Earth, whether it's left over from long ago humans, ancient civilizations, or whether it's extraterrestrial. I personally believe the moon is a spaceship, hollow spaceship. And I know I'm not saying anything that's too far out there. If you listen to YouTube and are into these things, people believe them and there's science behind it. But if you don't, you're probably thinking I sound like a fucking madman. And I am. I'm a goddamn madman. No, I'm just kidding. I swear to God, I'm sane. I'm not sober, but I'm sane. And I'm relatively intelligent or informed on these things. And I'm kind of shaping my opinions around some of this out there wilder stuff. And so to bring it back to this 3-eye atlas, this comet, don't just quickly dismiss the idea that it could be something artificial or not normal. Because if you do, well, then you're asleep to a possibility of things and not prepared. You know what I like to say? Failure to prepare is preparing to fail. I think that's how they say it. Or I'll say it in a better way. You know why I stay ready? So I don't have to get ready. You know what I mean? That's why. A guy in jail told me that once. He's fucking, this like buff guy, like worked out, whatever. I would go to the gym sometimes just because, you know, what the fuck? I'm just sitting there. And he was just a funny guy, this black guy. He's like, you know why I look like this? Why I stay in shape? He's like, because the ladies love it. And because he said, I stay ready so I don't have to get ready. And I never forgot that. Was just funny. It's like, all right, man, yeah, I respect it. Sure. Anyway, just keep an open mind on things. With anything else, stay informed, Don't let these naysayers, bots, whatever the fuck they are on Reddit or on social media, wherever, dissuade you or discourage you from thinking outside the box. Because if everybody thinks the same, then we're all asleep. Then nobody's got the wheel. Let's say I'm not relying on Jesus. They say, Jesus, take the wheel. All right. No, Jesus, I appreciate it. And grab the wheel if you have to, but I got it. I just think it's important to stay aware of things and keep an open mind and be prepared. That's all. All right. We will wait and see. I think I saw something online that in the next week or two, or certainly the next month or two, they will have a better idea of what this 3-eye atlas is. And it probably will be a comet. But things are getting weird. I don't know how many people can tell or feel it, but to me, things are getting weird in life. I don't know if everybody has that date in their head. Not everybody. People that feel that way, that like life is building to some sort of crescendo, whether that be, I'm not saying the end of the world. I don't think it's the end of the world. I just think it's the next step on our evolution. The way things are right now, how they're so ass backwards, so clownish. I just don't think that it can go this way for very much longer. I think that's the system breaking down or something, because the way people like cheer on a billionaire who takes their rights, tells them they got to work harder, takes healthcare away from people that don't have a pot to piss in, and they sit there and cheer it on, like that's never happened in my life. And so like, that's just a small microcosm, but the world feels different. Time feels like it's moving faster. Feels like things are weird. And my date for that happening is like 2016. It started happening for me. But that's a quantum immortality thing, and we'll talk about that next time. All right. How this day and age it's harder than ever now to be able to discern what is true and what is not. No longer is it the time of see it to believe it, with the way that AI is and deep fakes and all that. So I think having some common sense, using logic and your gut, it's about 40% common sense, 20% logic, 60% intuition, gut. It's up to people's ability to tell bullshit, to call it out. Their ability to discern the truth is going to matter so much in this day and age. And I feel like, unfortunately, most people are fucking morons and don't are stupid and can't tell when someone's lying to them. And so hopefully we can help each other in that respect, because I do have a good bullshit meter. Terrible gaydar, but a good bullshit meter. On that note, guys, and I say guys because I have to at least imagine there's a lot of people watching. So I appreciate it. Thank you. This has been another wonderful episode of the TreesOnYa Pod. Now, this was August 4th, the TreesOnYa Pod. I appreciate it. I will get this edited and posted on YouTube. I'm going out to visit my Uncle Mark. I love the guy. He's older. He had to retire. We used to work together. So I'm going out to visit him, my Aunt Janet, and some cousins out there, leaving Tuesday. And I'll be out there for 2 weeks or 10 days. I'm going to take my tablet and the microphone, so I should be able to get on and record while I'm out there. But I wanted to at least get something done before I left. And it looks like my laptop is crashing out. So it's a perfect time to end the show. And my voice is too. So fuck it. All right. Thank you guys. This is TreesOnYa Pod. Hit the like button, subscribe, do all those damn things. Check me out on X, TreesOnYa Pod, TikTok, TreesOnYa Pod, everything. TreesOnYa Pod, same damn thing. All right. Later, ladies and gentlemen. Have a nice night. Good week. It's Monday morning. Go get the damn thing. I'm about to go to sleep. All right. Adios. Adios. Yo, sorry. Everything reminds me of something. I met this real cute chick in the AT&T store where I went and got my tablet. And we started talking for some reason. And, I told her, I heard her speaking Spanish. And I was like, oh, you're bilingual. I said, I'm trisexual. I'll try anything. No, I didn't say that. But I told her, I was like, I was an idiot. I took French in high school. And she's like, oh, I took French too. I was like, damn, you're smart. But then when I went to leave, I, instead of saying bye, I said like, au revoir, like bye to her in French. It was funny. She started laughing. So that just made me realize that, like, au revoir. Bye, babe. Bye, girl. All right, I got to go. This song is called Life. It has my best friend who passed away, Chris Cutter Basin talking in the intro. So I love you, Chris. Everything I do is a tribute to you, my man. Appreciate you. I even hollered at your daughter, just sent a real nice message and a video of the two of us the other day, Jordan. And I saw Callie, his other daughter, she was working at the liquor store. So that was cool. But I promise, if I ever make it, I'm going to take care of all of them. Those girls will be, they'll have it made. I swear to you on that. I can't swear I'll make it, but I swear to you, if I did, they would never have to worry about a thing. All right. Later, guys. Like and sub to the channel. See ya.
Yo, in this life that we're given, you can go anywhere you want to go. You can go up, you can go down, but you gotta take the path that's right for you, the one that's given to you, and only you know that it's true, you know?
Life is so hard, we all actors on the stage, and I'm trying to get big up in my life. Yo, be who you are, I'ma be me, Tree, born to be a star, young life. Man, what does it mean? You chose a safety, man, I choose to live the dream, man. Life, it never did turn out how you wanted it. The gift you're giving, rapid and rough. And sometimes I be wondering just what I got left. I can't get no love and forget about respect.
Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Like Andy, yo, you gotta take a dose of reality. They doubt me, they're kinda talking down to me. It's alright, it's okay, I'll be the one they talking about. You see, cause if not me, then who not you? I've been doing this shit since 2002.
I'm gonna get off. I'm trying to get off. Just a little beyond the breaking point.
I don't give a fuck, I ain't lived enough, ain't done yet. And I won't forget what it's like when I ain't have shit. And I ain't that kid, but still the fire burns. Man, too hot to hand up, careful, reach for me and I burn your hand. My body stands up if I get listening to my rhythm. I'm gonna come. I won't quit, I'm gonna get it. It's so hard, we all on the stage and I'm trying to get rid of oh, be who you are, I'ma be me.
You're a fucking choir boy compared to me. A choir boy.
You chose to save me.
You're a fucking choir boy compared to me. A choir boy.
Turn out how you wanted to, the gift you give it rapid and run. I can't hold back. I'm the one from your hometown that's trying to rap. I ain't trying to be black, I'm just trying to be stacked. Man, I'm trying to live the dream. I mean, what's wrong with that? You wanna mock me? No matter ain't no stopping me, I gotta be. Run on the beach, live my life as rocket 3 with Apollo Green. Yo, just tell me who I gotta be to be.
I'm ballsy. I don't take no shit from anyone. I smoke my stogie anywhere I want.
This ain't my fucking day job, it's a passion. This ain't Hollywood and we ain't acting. Sit your fat ass down and keep snacking. Yo, I keep laughing, keep rapping.
My mommy said no more eating toys, so I left a poo-poo in her chocolate cake.
I'm a dragon, I spit flames and I'll burn you. Learn to turn your ass around and get your shit on a bitch. Yo, it's so hard, we all actors on the stage and I'm trying to get a bitch. Yo, be who you are, I'ma be me, Tree, born to be a star. Yo, what does it mean? You chose a safety, man, I chose to live the dream. Yo, it never did turn out how you wanted it. The gift you're giving, rapid and running.